Hello and welcome to the I'll Do the Talking podcast, where we talk all things wedding, give you the top tips, hints and how-tos on making your day truly magical.
I'm Caitlin, a wedding content creator.
And I'm George, a humanist wedding celebrant.
And today we have two very special guests with us. We've got Danny and Jason today. If you want to check out part one, we spoke quite a lot about the wedding scenes, how you guys kind of got into it. So we're just going to dive straight into part two of the conversation.
On the first episode, we covered the chapters of the day. So we covered the prep for the bride and the groom. We talked about the ceremony and all the different places you need to be and consider you've got the stuff up. Let's just jump into. I suppose there's two other big, three bits. So there's the kind of after the ceremony and sort of photos. And you're capturing some of that stuff, and then there's the speeches, and then there's the dances. That's kind of like the three other chapters, would you say?
Yeah, so there's like cocktail or drinks reception. That's just kind of couple, just kind of, chatting to their friends, their family. Normally at that point, that's when the photographer will pull people away and do like groups and stuff,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ours is, we've kind of like got like this little added bolt on though to ours, which is obviously like the couple shoot that we'll take the couples away for with the photographer at some point, which sometimes, especially at this time of year, can also happen twice because you get a golden hour sometimes,
Yes.
which is always nice. Mm-hmm. But yeah, drinks reception, and that's for us, it's just like being flying the wall for me anyway. I think you're quite the same. Just candid, try and capture moments as they happen.
Yeah.
Between, you're kind of looking for people laughing.
Yeah. I'll do the talking here. Weddings aren't all as perfect as they look on Instagram, but with the right tips and advice, they can be pretty amazing.
We're George and Caitlin, a father and daughter team that know weddings inside out. My dad's a humanist wedding celebrant, known as George the Humanist.
And Caitlin's a wedding content creator from her business, Insta Love Story, who, in 2022, I had the honour of walking her down the aisle and then marrying her off.
On each episode of I'll Do the Talking, we're sharing real wedding advice and chatting to industry guests to help plan the day that's right for you.
From ceremonies, gestures and traditions, from flowers, photos, food and family dramas, we'll walk you through it all.
So if you're planning your big day or just love a good wedding story, hit subscribe and join us down the aisle and beyond.
Just like laughing, having a good time.
And the hugs and the kisses and the congratulations and stuff.
Yeah.
Although, Jace, I did see a clip on your Insta of you basically scalping down a hill at full pace and the whole bridal party following you.
That wedding, so it was a bunch of Americans that came over, and all day they'd been competitive with each other. So there was like games in the morning, they were playing with each other, and they were racing each other in the morning to like, it turned into a sports day before they were in their wedding gear.
Amazing.
And then when they got in them, I was like, none of you can catch me. Like, and it's like, oh, we can catch you. And I was like, oh, right, well, prove it. You all want to chase me? And then obviously gave them the opportunity to, the photographer wanted a nice slow one. I'm like, no, they're charging me. We'll get it again. So I didn't know if it would work, but I just put the gimbal behind me and just let them chase after me. And they gave it. They gave it.
They definitely caught you up.
I was quicker than I thought I'd be, though, to be fair. My feet have never moved quicker than that before. I almost pulled something.
I'm surprised they didn't deck it.
I think that is the biggest thing that I kept thinking, watching it, going, who's first to fall? Who's
You're like
planning
on
it?
grass wheel at trainers, like
Very impressive, though.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
I definitely don't do that. Like, as I say, everyone gets a different approach on the day depending on what they're like or what they'd be into. I'm not going to tell everyone to charge down a hill after me, because most of the time people would just tell me where to go. But I could tell they were up for it, and you get some fun footage out of it. So, but yeah, I think a lot of people in the drinks reception or the cocktail hour, I think they miss an opportunity to really go for that bit. Some people try and plan too much, or in terms of photos, they ask for too many photos, and I think they don't actually think of how long these things take. The way I always imagine it is if you wanted to talk to every single person at your wedding and you wanted to give each person 2 minutes of your time, which is not a lot of time. If you've got 100 people, And 2 minutes times 100 is 200 minutes. That's over 3 hours that you're going to need.
That's a great way to put it.
That's good. That's too long. So if you cram in all of your time where you want like so many photos and you want to like, and you've got entertainment planned that you want to enjoy as well, try and just think of that. This time, like your ceremony might be 2:00, which means it finishes at 2:30. You've probably only got about an hour and a half to 2 hours before your speeches begin. So in the brighter months, have your ceremony earlier, get a longer drinks reception, and you'll have time to have all of this in. Because people just opt for it later, thinking, "Oh, people will be waiting around doing nothing." But
yeah, well, at the time the killer can be like keeping your putting your groups list too large, like so for your group photograph.
Yeah.
And having like all these different mad combinations.
Too many combinations of
like bride in, groom
that's
out,
probably
whatever.
the,
and
the
it's
couple
like,
trying to appease something or like
It is.
I know, but
satisfy
it's
someone
just,
else.
It just takes up too much time, and you actually see it quite a lot of the time where like the bride and groom can be like, "This is just not moving quick enough," and it's like there's nothing the photographer can do because you've asked for 40 groups. Do you know?
Yeah.
I find at most weddings during the group photos that the list never gets finished because they get so fed up and just go, do you know what? I was only getting that one because my mum was making me, but she's not looking. Just disperse everybody quickly. Danny's website noticed that you've wrote that 75% of couples regret not having their day videoed.
Yes.
So why do you think that is, and why do you think people choose not to get it videoed and then regret it after?
Well, I mean, I think there's maybe a couple of reasons why people choose not to. One, it'll probably come down to budget, because let's face it, weddings do need budgets because it gets out of hand really, really quickly. And then maybe just because they don't really like the thought of it, like in terms of, because they think it's maybe going to be something that it's not, because generally most people don't like being filmed. Like that, I would say,
hearing their own voice,
seeing
themselves on film.
And I think the majority of us are kind of like that. Like I'm not really the best at being like filmed, even though I'm a videographer and I like have my own podcasts and stuff. But still, not always the most comfortable with it. But I think like people have this idea about what it's going to be in it, and it's totally not. It's we have a lot of fun, and it's not awkward whatsoever. I think they regret it. Because, not to be morbid, but like it's life, like in 20, 30 years, there will be parts of your family that are no longer with you. And I think that the thing with a wedding film is where it's different to photography, because like for photography, you will have the pictures on the wall, your pictures will be your screensaver on the back of your phone, but you can't watch a picture. And you can't hear someone's voice through a picture.
Yeah.
So it's very different. They serve different purposes, photography and videography. Because like most people are not going to go and watch their wedding film once a week. No. Like some people might, but I definitely wouldn't. I actually say this to couples, like your wedding film right now is not where it holds most value. Like just after the wedding is not when it holds most value. 5 years after the wedding is not when it holds most value. It holds most value in 20 to 30 years when there are parts of your family that are maybe no longer with you, and you can hear their voice, for instance, in the film. You can hear them doing their speech, you're essentially creating like a time capsule of all your best people and your family and your friends that are very unlikely all that mix of people are going to be in the same room again.
Yeah.
Probably the only time that they've actually been in one room
and
together.
will be the only time.
Yeah.
So it's this little time capsule of that part of your life and your best people that you only kind of get one shot at. So it's like, in my opinion, you should always have it filmed.
Don't be that. I am 75%, ladies and gents.
I am biased, but again, it comes down to budget, and there's other priorities. But at the end of the day, once everything is done and settled, the only thing that you do have left is like your photo and your film. So
yeah, I always think like there might be some people who are so lucky to have a photo from their grandparents' wedding 50 years ago, but there's absolutely slim to no chance that they've got a video of that.
Yeah.
And how good it would have been to see my grandparents' speech, their first dance,
Wow, I know.
like just to hear their voices back then, hear what they had to say to each other. Video is just on a different level. I think it's just
yeah,
it's an investment for the future.
Yeah, it's different emotions, but I mean, Jess is totally right. Like, what would you give to see like a video of your grandparents?
Yeah.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where it's like it's not. That's why I say it doesn't hold the most value just now.
Yeah.
And it's like the long term in 20, 30, 40 years. That's when it's
so
like
important.
so invaluable.
That's just a really lovely way to actually
Describe it.
describe it for people, because when you're planning, it's not enjoyable. Anybody who enjoyed it, well done you. But it's really stressful. You're picking between loads of people. You don't know who's the best. Is that the right person for me? You've got so many different opinions. But see, when you strip it back to go, you're getting married because you love each other. And what are you going to have at the end of it? You're going to have a marriage, and what do you want to remember about that day? You want to have that footage, the film, the clips from it, to remember it back on. Those are the only things that you're going to have from it. So what is, like, think about that when you're doing your priority list of...
Dead or alive, real or made up, whose wedding would you have loved to have filmed or kind of want to film?
Okay.
That's a toughie.
And does it have to be a wedding that happened?
No.
Like,
Well,
No,
I
you
found
can make
that
up,
out on,
if it's two
one of-
characters out of a film that you fictionally want to marry, then do that.
I found this out at one of our last episodes that we done. George asked me that after I gave my answer. I found out that he gave a made-up answer, and I didn't know that was the rule. So just so you know, you can
Just
put
to give you an
whoever
idea,
you want.
I picked Lady Gaga and David Bowie.
oh, okay.
Because of
would be
the
pretty-
sheer creativity
Yeah, that'd be
wild.
that would
Yeah.
be in the room. They'd do a duet together. Goodness knows what Lady Gaga's dress would be like, or for that matter, David Bowie's outfit. So that, it can be anything like that.
Has there ever been a wedding in space? Like, has someone gone into orbit and got married? Because if so, sign me up, right?
I'd like to
I
be
want,
on the
like,
petition to
imagine
come
that on
to
a steady cam. Just like, would it even know what it's doing?
I
Like,
don't know.
imagine the shoots of that. Like, you could have like Rocket Man, or like
Yeah,
just
yeah.
just going, or like, or no, that would be super fun. Imagine the shots you get just spiraling through space like I do. Like, yeah, that would just put my
Wow.
creativity in overdrive. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that does happen, like...
Sign me
Give you
up,
a shout.
baby. Hi, I'm Jason from Afterglow Weddings,
I'm Danny from Rizzo Films,
and today we're sponsoring I'll Do the Talking.
where we are spilling all the tea on wedding videography. So feel free to come on and check it out, like and subscribe, and listen in.
Yeah, all the juicy stuff from videography at your wedding. It's an episode or 2 episodes that you do not want to miss.
So remember to subscribe where you get your podcasts and listen in.
Now,
minutes.
There is no
one part of the day, though, they definitely do pay attention is the speeches. So that's probably the next chapter, isn't it? So that's definitely one for you guys to get mic'd up,
So many
cameras and
factors.
stuff like that. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you think of, people will watch the same YouTube videos. They will Google the same things.
yeah,
You probably hear the same sort of jokes in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
speeches.
yeah.
Is there anything that comes to your mind that you go, I hear this joke
it's about like
week
the
in and
Sheeran,
week out,
John Legend thing.
Danny, put your hand on the table.
Oh, no.
And then, Jason, I'll put your hand on top of that hand. Oh,
I
God.
bet my dies inside when I
That's
hear
the
that.
last time you've got the upper hand.
All right.
Every time. Every
day.
time. Well, that
Honestly.
happens more often than not. You've got banger for a week. You go to
Oh,
Wales.
I hate that. It's just terrible
Yeah,
chat.
you do get the same jokes all the time. The cake and
Be
tears.
original.
Yeah.
Be original.
Honestly, I think there's so much pressure for people with speeches to be a comedian. So much pressure because,
Yeah.
like, the best man has to roast, like, the
Yeah.
groom.
And see, I hate that.
Yeah,
I hate it.
My
I
best
like-
man didn't roast me. He actually gave me a really complimentary speech and told
Yeah,
me,
and that's see for like us, for like as videographers, like because if you think about like the tone of the film and the day, you're gonna have maybe like Father of the Bride speech will be like quite emotional, maybe sentimental. The groom's speech is also going to be, thanking everybody, but then obviously he's going to say nice things about his wife. And then if you've got the best man that's then just there roasting, it just does not fit. So, like, quite often I don't even put the best man speech in because it's terrible. Like, just in terms of,
Yeah.
like, it
Yeah.
does not fit with the rest of the film. So, see, then when you get one that is maybe, like, quite, a nice best man speech. You know, it maybe has a wee couple of jibes here and there, but for the most part, it's actually like nice. It's
celebrating the relationship.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
You just said,
Complimentary.
Jason,
Then I'm like, thank God. Yes, I can use this.
Also, people who don't want to talk, don't get up and do
Don't
a
get up and
speech.
talk.
It is more than okay to stand up and say, like, if you're the groom on sorry, that word is not coming to me. On behalf of my wife and I, we want to thank you very much for coming today. We really appreciate all the time. Looking forward to partying this evening. Thanks very much.
That's all you're
Sit
getting
down.
to me. See you.
That's okay to do.
I think so.
There's so much pressure on it.
100%. I did a wedding 2 days ago, and it was an American wedding, and they did the thing at the end of dinner where, like, if does anyone want to speak, and 3 people chose to speak, and it was under 10 minutes, 3 speakers, and it was probably some of the best speeches I'd ever heard. They didn't need to be long. They were concise, to the point. They were like, they said, like, one person came out and said, knowing you has made me a better person along that extent. It was like 2 minutes long. Another person came up and talked about the bride, saying like how proud they are of them. And then the groom just thanked everyone in the room. And it was done in, I think it was literally about 8 minutes for 3 speeches.
Yeah.
And I said to the photographer, like, that was probably the best set of speeches I've ever done in the shortest amount of time.
The point was made.
I'm like, that was great.
When Caitlin got married, me, her now husband Callum, and his best man Ben, we all vowed that we would have like 5 minutes each, because we've seen it, you've heard all the stories, we knew, and we actually also went for the speeches after the meal, which I know is not always the case, but we want to get people fed and watered first, then we done it after the meal. So, and we stuck to 5 minutes right on the button, and we, for that reason, we just had to, we knew that was enough to say what we wanted to say and the sentiment we wanted to get across.
Yeah.
You know?
What we will say about speeches is something that I think most suppliers would recommend against, not just because it means that they don't get a break, but having speeches in between courses for suppliers is a big no-no. And it's not because, like, we want a break. I mean, granted, yes, we need a break as well, so that's usually when we get our break. But for videographers, we've got tripods to set up, and if you're having tripods around tables where there's service happening, we need to move those tripods to allow the people who are serving your dinner to get in about it.
So like turning mics on.
Yeah.
You can't keep the cameras rolling the full time. So like quite often what will happen is when speeches are throughout the meal, parts of it will be missed, but it's not our fault because it's like, we'll maybe say like, okay, don't start the speeches until maybe like we're back in the room kind of thing. And yeah, you'll be sitting there and then you hear the ding, 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 ding. You're like, whoa.
And you're starting running
through.
Yeah, in the next room, like,
turn
half
the
a
mics
chicken
on.
burger down you, wait, what's going on?
I think people think it's a good idea because they're like, we just want to like spread it out. We want people to enjoy a little meal here and there. But from the mindset of someone giving a speech, let's say they're last, let's say they're after mains before dessert, they have to sit through that start nervous. Like, they can't drink too much because they're thinking, what if I drink too much, I get too drunk? They probably are drinking too much because they are nervous. And what happens if they get like food down their shirt and they've got to make a speech and they're on camera doing that? Like, there's so many things that can go wrong.
In my opinion, the best way to do it is before the meal.
Before the meal.
Meal, because for that reason, people can enjoy the meal at that point and not have this hanging over them. Because as you said, a lot of people don't like public speaking. So the majority of people don't like public speaking. So, like, for them to have to sit through a meal, they're maybe like their stomach's turning a little bit. Like, just get over it.
We felt okay, me and the 2 boys. That's why we said, let's do it.
You'd be fine.
You present for a living.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. I think people that day said, he's going to bloody speak
I know,
again.
by the time we got to the speech, they were like, oh my God, him again? My God.
In fact, my wife Alison, she said, I think I should do the speech at Caitlin's wedding. You've got too many other parts.
I love that when the girls get up and speak.
Have you done I've seen a lot of maid of honour speeches. I know that obviously
few,
we follow a lot of, American trends and stuff like that, but I feel like lately I'm starting to hear a lot of the maid of honour speech.
It's so good.
I love it. I think the girls can give the boys a run for their money like quite a lot of the time, to be honest.
I had my first one a couple of weeks ago and it was so nice. It was so nice to hear it. I did give my maid of honour the option because I was like, well, everybody can do it. You can all have the choice.
In this day and age of equality, but why not? But why should it be the man that does the send a speech?
I think as well though, like, because generally speaking, you can like all the time you maybe get like whenever I've had it, it's been a super emotional speech from the maid of honour or whatever, or like and And I love that, like, because that for us is like gold.
It's video gold, isn't it?
Yeah. So like, I love it when the girls get up, and the brides as well. Like one I done, wedding, 2 weddings ago, the bride got up and done a speech, and it was great. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, I love it. I think, you know, if anyone who wants to speak, obviously don't like have 15 speeches, but you know, if someone like the father of the bride at my wedding, like my father-in-law, he didn't make a speech, but the mother my mother-in-law, she did a speech instead. It was great. So each their own. Anyone who wants to do it, speak up.
So once we're past the speeches chapter, then the kind of final chapter really is the
fun bit,
the dancing, and then anything or any surprise kind of stuff, you know, like singing waiters, you might have had that, or maybe a live artist, the drums and roses type of stuff. So what's happening? Do you have to prepare much for that part, the first dance and beyond?
If it's dark, lights.
So we can use, some videographers will use spotlights to kind of light up the dance floor, not to necessarily change the look of a venue, but you know, obviously photographers have flash. Videographers don't necessarily have a flash to get that instant pop of light. So we need to have constant light in order to be able to film it. So I'll spotlight it, usually just with one, just to kind of have the center of the dance floor kind of lit up. And then I'll have a little video light on my camera. It's, for me, it's probably the least part of preparation I need, because I don't necessarily include like the full first dance in the film. I include sections of it. Just for like copyrighted music and stuff like that. Like you can't really be utilizing copyrighted music too much throughout your film. So I like to include just parts of the first dance in about the film, because I think the important part of the film for me is you know, the vows, the speeches, the kind of the spoken words, and then the moments that binded them all together. So
right.
Because I mean, for all the time the first dance anyway, some first dances are lasting like 30 seconds.
Yeah, before they get everyone on.
Yeah. Some people are so nervous about, again, just 2 live feet. So I just need everybody else on the dance floor and take that away from me.
Yeah.
Another reason why I don't deliver I think most people don't deliver first full dances. I think that's quite a old school thing to have done.
Yeah. I mean, if you are just looking at, I mean, unless of course you've done like a choreographed dance. Then,
it's a bit different.
Then that's, if you put effort into it.
I'd stick a wide down or something like that.
100%. If they've told us that there's a choreographed dance and we're going to see something here, then they've spent the time making that effort, then I'm going to capture it as much as I can. I'll put a couple angles up to make sure we've got that. But most of the time, people just want it over with. So
swing on and party.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like the days full of I want that bit out the way.
Yeah.
So I want the wedding ceremony out the way. I want the speeches out the way. I want the first dance out the way. So like 10 hours into my wedding, I can enjoy it.
Yeah. It's funny, like the wedding that I did on Sunday, the ceremony was done and immediately they had a DJ like pumping tunes throughout the entire venue. And it was a rave from 1 until 8 when the band came on and gave a different vibe to the day. They obviously had their speeches and stuff, but like they had music playing and stuff.
Where was
like Engine Marks.
What was that? Oh, that was that one.
Yeah, so it was,
it's really interesting being at a wedding that has a DJ start earlier. I've only been to one that's had one for basically during the dinner service.
Yeah.
I don't think there was an empty seat before the starters came out, and I was like, this is brilliant.
Yeah, it's class.
It's phenomenal.
So, like, so many people want so many things out of the way because they think that's how a wedding should be done, but the wedding day, the only thing you actually need to do on a wedding day is sign a piece of paper and say the legal vows with your celebrant. That's the only thing that needs to happen. Everything else is tradition. And tradition can get thrown out the window because it's your day. You can do anything you want. If you don't want speeches, then have speeches on Monday.
It's a theatrical performance, isn't it? After that, it's like, what can we do to say that was just us? Because that's what I say to people. You want to be people talking about the ceremony part and all the day is, that was just typically you two.
Yeah.
There's kind of a stamp. Yeah. Sometimes it's just a silent stamp, but it's just their personalities.
Yeah. If you want to get married and then get a bunch of burger vans, pizza vans, taco vans and stuff and have music playing all day and never have speeches, you've got dinner and music after the ceremony, you can do that.
Yeah.
It's entirely up to you.
You mentioned music here. Actually, I was going to ask you, both of you, about the copyright and how does all that work? And
it's a good question, George.
You don't know either.
No. So we pay for what is like the most expensive royalty-free music subscription on the planet.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is MusicBed. So that's like, I think we pay about £120 a month for that or something.
Oh, well, you do.
Oh well, he's a friend of the brand of.
I'm an ambassador for them now, so.
for Music Bed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
right,
I've used their service so much that they've given it to me now. But it's places like Nike, Adidas, NBA. They use that service
for basically for their adverts and stuff. But there's like really, really good high quality music on there. It's like not cheesy. It's really, really good. So
we need your top tips. You've given us lots of top tips through the 2 episodes now, but can you both just summarise some must-dos, a few must-dos that our listeners and viewers can take away when considering videography?
So one is, don't just book somebody because your friend booked them or because they look really busy, or book them based on, do you actually like the work?
Yeah.
So go and watch the films, go through the portfolio and go, is this the type of film that I would want? Do I like it?
Yeah.
You know, does it speak to me? If no, don't book them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even if your best friend has booked them and even if they look absolutely busy, because it's not what you want.
Yeah.
Totally.
So make sure you go and watch the actual films that they produce and that it speaks to you as a couple.
On top of that, you're going to be hanging around with this person all day on the biggest day of your life. So you're going to want to meet them either in person or digitally. Most people will do digitally. You want to make sure that you hit it off, that you don't feel awkward in conversation, because this person's going to be talking to you quite a lot during the day, and you're going to remember them for life. So you want to make sure that you get on with them. So I mean, for me, when I found my photographer, I knew a bunch of people who were great, but I didn't really find the right banter for me. And then I found my photographer, I met him in person. It's like, that's it. Well, as
their work, it was the can I get on with you?
Oh, that's massive.
Yeah,
absolutely massive. Yeah, if you want to get the best out of it, I work best when we get on really well and you're on the same page as me, and I can be my fun self with you on the wedding day. That's what really works. Be yourself. Like, honestly, people overwork themselves over the fact that they're going to have cameras in their day.
Yeah.
We just want you to genuinely be yourself in the day. Enjoy it. If there's people you want to talk to, go talk to them. Have genuine reactions with them. Just have fun. Like, it's
that's one thing. Like, don't worry about how things are going to be on the day or how things are going to look, or for instance, if there's like a little mark on like the dress or whatever, like it's a white dress, like it's gonna get
the dress is gonna get dirty.
It's gonna get dirty.
Yeah.
Like, and obviously I understand maybe if it's just before the ceremony and something like that happens, but like post ceremony, like it's somewhat fair game. Do you know what I mean? So just don't get too caught up in it. Like if there is a little mark on it, it doesn't matter. It's not the end of the world. Don't let it like derail your day.
Don't sweat
small stuff.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Also, take like more than a few days off before your wedding. Like if you I stopped working the day before like we were meant to travel to the venue. I really wish I took like a week off to just be in the zone, get your kind of your vows and your speeches in check, make sure everything's like ready to go. Have a couple days before your wedding. Like that you need to get in the mindset of it because it's going to be overwhelming.
Office on like 12 hours before you.
Just allow yourself that time. I know you want to take a couple of weeks off your honeymoon stuff, but if you can, try and get a few days off before your wedding. It's there's a lot of people going to be asking you questions that week, so be ready for it.
Well, thank you so much for spending the time with us and giving you your insight.
I've been George.
And I've been Caitlin. And thank you very much to Danny and Jason for today.
Thank you very much for having us on. Cheers.
And join us on the next episode of I'll Do the Talking. And until then, make sure you subscribe to get that first look and sound of our next episode. Thanks again. Bye.